Nice. Billboard and thing, Keron. Oh, I love it. Digipreneur. Your reach. Keron Rose, your reach. You have arrived.
We have arrived. We have arrived. Good morning, JW.
I love it. I love it. The Digipreneurs here at TNT. And as always, Keron, great to see you. We're going to ask this morning a simple one, but it could be complex. It could be, I guess it's really how you look at it, because digital marketing is so important to companies, but some companies still struggle. Why is that, Keron Rose?
Oh, boy. The thing with digital marketing is that it is so much more complex than traditional marketing. You've been in the media industry for a long time. When you think about where media has come from, right? When people were doing marketing their products or services, you typically went to print, you went to radio, you went to TV, you went to billboards, you went to flyers. And the only thing that was ever really needed was creative graphics or some creative jingle or a creative TV ad. But now when you enter into the digital world, where there are so many more layers on top of that, we're still getting it wrong. And what we're seeing a lot of is companies are still trying to take all of the principles that they did with traditional media and bring it into the digital space. And it's really getting them to struggle right now, and making it hard for them to make the transition.
You know what's sometimes difficult? Because attention span and people move on so fast via digital and the socials. To see or to get your message in such a condensed package, to literally get the message out in sometimes 5-10 seconds. People might just give you 2 seconds and keep it moving. How do we capture somebody's attention, giving all that information in such a short time? That's a science,
Great.
You know.
Yes, it is. But you know what? Here's the thing. People's attention spans have not gotten shorter. Think about it for a second. JW, do you watch Marvel movies?
Yeah, I do, with my son, yeah.
All right. How long is the average Marvel movie?
Probably, what, 2.5 hours, if so much?
Correct. Right. So we sit down for 2.5-hour, 3-hour movies on a regular basis. So people's attention spans, they are still there. What we have a short attention span for is bad content. So when people are, utilizing platforms like a TikTok or an Instagram Reels, you really do only have a few seconds to hook them, but good content will get people to sit through a 3 to 5 minute video. When we are watching content on YouTube, there are creators where they have an hour-long YouTube video, and I sit happily, eat my food, and watch. So we have good attention spans for good content. But what we see a lot of, and this is why people keep on scrolling, is businesses are not creating content. They're only focused on creating ads, and we tune out ads. So if you're only focused on showcasing the features of a product, you jump on social media and you grab your product, you're like, hey, this new Samsung whatever has a camera, it has this, it has that ad, we're done scrolling past. So if you're only focusing on ads, we are conditioned to tune those things out. We want content of value if you have a chance of hooking people to stay longer on social media.
So how does one bring the content without, you're bringing the content, so you're giving information on, let's say, the same device, but you don't want it to look like or feel like an ad. Is it where now you get, let's say, an influencer, a brand ambassador? Is it now that you get someone who could project your message? What's the strategy there?
Good. That's a very great question, because we have a lot of companies who they think that is what they have to do. They have to outsource to a content creator. But here's the other problem that businesses are facing. Marketing today requires expertise in your industry, right? When you are outsourcing to a brand ambassador, they don't know your industry. They don't know your products. They don't know your services. They could only ever create an ad for you, right? The best brand ambassadors is your company. You guys know your industry better than anybody. So what needs to start happening is you need to start getting involved with some digital strategists that come in. And one of the key things that we do is we do market research. And within that market research, we can actually extract all of the data that people are putting into the Google, Bing, any of the search engines. We can see what everybody is looking for in relation to your industry. And if I know what all the problems are within my industry because I'm looking at the data, I could then take those questions and answer them via video, turning that into content. So people will follow a business page because they want to have their problems solved or their desires achieved. And if you are the one that's building your platforms into a resource for all things, whatever your industry is, people are going to follow you because you're educating them on helping them get a problem solved.
Interesting. How important is timing, Keron? Because I've always heard you should post at a certain time, you should target a certain season to maximize sales and profit. Timing, talk to me about the actual time that we put out the content for people to consume.
Right. I think there's two sides to that. On a general basis, I don't think timing matters anymore because the algorithm, right? The algorithm buffers all of our content. So you might post something today, but people might not see it till 2 days later. So the timing on a general basis doesn't necessarily matter anymore when you're posting content. However, where timing comes into play is, let's just say there is a trend, there's a breaking story that has happened in your niche. There is definitely, you want to have a quick turnaround to jump on certain trends or to release timely news that are happening within your industry, because that form of being timely still does matter.
Interesting. In terms of this digital marketing and the strategy for businesses, big businesses, small businesses.
Yeah.
How important is it for companies who have not gone down this road at all to start having the conversation and to pivot into this new space? I mean, I am thinking, will they be left behind if they don't move with the times?
Yeah, as with anything, if you're not keeping up to date with business trends, global business trends, your business is always going to be left behind. So right now, there's a big hesitancy to get on digital because people don't fully understand it. Most businesses across the country, when they think digital, they still think digital is social media. So, okay, let's put up a Facebook page, but what if your customers are not there? What if they're on LinkedIn? What if they're consuming podcasts? What if they're consuming YouTube? Digital is an all-encompassing strategy that you have to kind of learn to figure out where your customers are and how best to reach them, right? So it's going to require every business to start to upgrade their internal personnel. We still have a lot of businesses that are saddled with people who have come from traditional media or media buying, and they're moving into digital, and they're still treating it like media buying, and they're just posting ads or creating ads for businesses. But it is going to require all businesses to start to upskill their personnel and learn how a full comprehensive digital strategy works. That way they can amplify their message and reach the people, because all of your customers are utilizing their phones. Everybody has a phone, and you could reach them. You just need to figure out which platform to do it best on.
That's right. As we wrap things up, any closing remarks as we pull the curtains down on this week's edition? Even whether it's digital marketing or even just within the space, because again, there are so many people still, especially the older businessmen and women, who are from the old school, who are from the traditional style of marketing. You know, it's sometimes really hard for them to embrace this new space, this new time. And some people are set in their ways. How do we get them to understand and to come across into this modern era and modern time?
Yeah, most definitely. I would say that now is a good time to start to upskill. We have a lot of events that are happening where the cost is free, the cost is nominal. I have an event coming up next week, Saturday, with the Telecommunications Authority, and we're talking about building your websites. We're also talking about building your brand and monetizing your platforms across different channels. Start looking for all of these free events. If you don't want to make the investment to start, okay, no problem. But start looking for the free events. You, the owner, should either come down to the events or send people who are within your marketing teams or handling your marketing, send them to come down to the events. Because right now, if you're not upskilling, you're going to be getting left behind. We didn't even mention artificial intelligence and how that's impacting the market, how that's impacting digital marketing. There's so many things happening. So just to get started, start looking for free events. There's also free courses online to start to dip your foot into the water, and then you're going to be able to upskill and start to wrap your mind around how to take your business digital and reach your customers as best as you possibly can.
And if you want to continue the conversation, TNT, you can send an email to info@keronrose.com. Keron, all the best. Thanks for being part of it and for the most important and insightful information, as per usual. Have a great one.
Take care. Till next time.
Until next time, Keron Rose touching base with us. Digipreneur. Nice billboard, man. Great stuff. We get ready for our conversation on cancer. The chairwoman of the TNT Cancer Society joins me next. Dr. LeBlanc, live on set. See you soon.